All right, happy anniversary, I guess, although it's not really happy. Today's the second anniversary of COVID-19 being declared a pandemic. Now, just like a lot of people my age, initially I was in denial about the gravity of the situation. I mean, I played along with it just because some of the advice given for COVID-19 was not that bad, right? I am an introvert, and social distancing is not the end of the world, and I'll play along with it, right? I have food allergies myself, and so wearing a mask wasn't the end of the world, right? It did make me feel safer, and it protected me against some of that stuff. Now, when it really hit close to home was the first time I lost a friend to COVID-19. I had a friend in college. I was going to college part-time when I was still in high school, so my friends were a little bit older than me. I was nervous about talking to this girl in the classroom, and he gave me a lot of advice on it. And I distinctly remember one Saturday when he sat down with me, but he asked me to compose an email first, and he would revise it for me. And I composed the email. Long story short, the girl never talked to me, but instead I made a close friend. You know, I thought with the advent of $6 gas, I could record videos in peace without somebody idling their car next to me. I guess I was mistaken, so give me a second. You know, thank God I'm fasting, right? When I'm in the middle of intermittent fasting, I have this happy-go-lucky feeling. It doesn't seem to bother me anymore. But one of the most frustrating things when I'm recording a video is that halfway through it, somebody just decides to idle their car, right? I spend a lot of time out in public, and when I saw $5-6 gas, my first thought was, now I can record my YouTube videos in peace. See, I don't mind background conversations like this. It adds a little flavor to the video, right? Especially if you can get people of different cultures, different backgrounds. But idling cars really bother me. That's a big soreness for me. So I wasn't too upset when I saw $5 or $6 gas. Now, my friend, he helped me compose the email to the girl, and instead of meeting a new girl, I made a new friend, and he had some similar hobbies as I did. A few years after that email incident, he was showing me how to refine gold out of computer chips. He had this lab set up in his home, all sorts of chemicals, and he was showing me all this gold that he had gotten out of computer chips. It was maybe a few grams of gold, but it seemed very impressive to me at the time. And I asked him where he bought some of those chemicals, and he told me you can buy them at Home Depot. Now, the problem when he said that was that I had just broken up with a girl who was working at Home Depot. I didn't want to go, I didn't even want to hear about Home Depot, so I went, and he said, oh, that's okay, just go to Lowe's instead, and don't go to Home Depot, because he knew that I had broken up with the girl at Home Depot. It gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling when he said it that way. Oh, just go to Lowe's. Yeah, don't go to Home Depot, I forgot. It gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling. And when I heard that he had passed away, my first thought was that he was never more than 6 feet away from anybody, right? He knew how to connect with everybody around him, and that kind of helped ease some of the pain, right? At least he wasn't lonely, right? And that's when COVID-19 became a much more serious issue. But the funny thing is, after I learned that he had passed away, and then not long after that, another friend of mine had passed away from COVID-19, not such a close friend, I actually, even though I knew COVID-19 was much more serious by this point, I actually relaxed a little bit, and that's when I started going out a whole lot more, going bowling. After my two friends had passed away from COVID-19, that's when I really relaxed myself a lot, and I took up bowling and started traveling a whole lot more. I moved out to Wallace, Idaho, and then to the Phoenix area, and I mingled with a lot of people. They're going to board game clubs. In Phoenix, a lot of people are not nearly as religious about wearing a mask, and I kind of went along with it just to fit in. And I think part of the reason for it's kind of paradoxical, but I'll let you pause the video to think about why seeing people close to me die of COVID-19 would make me relax. Well, I saw two of my close friends making that trip to heaven, and it didn't seem so scary anymore. It's kind of like when I was a kid worrying about graduating from school, and then to see some of my older classmates graduate, it didn't seem so scary anymore. And the move to heaven kind of feels that way too. I hope you never experience it with your close friends, but once you see it, I think your perspective will change about it. I think that's part of the reason why COVID-19 precautions are winding down, right? A lot of people are experiencing what I experienced a little over a year and a half ago now, right? Okay, now fast forward to 2022, we have the situation in Russia. Now at first it was a curiosity, right? Actually for me it was more of how can I take advantage of the market during this situation, right? I bought a lot of emerging market stocks when they were down. I'm hoping that we're going to sanction Russia with their gold reserves and it's going to crash gold and I can buy some. And but 2 days ago I saw something on the news that hit very close to home. When I was in college, a little bit after my friend had helped me compose the email, I had met a girl from Poland. And I met another girl from Poland when I was working on my PhD at a conference. And it didn't work out with either one of them because they wanted children, both of them. Now, right now, refugees are fleeing the Ukraine area into the border at Poland. And I was reading about all the donations that had poured into the train stations in Poland, including a lot of baby strollers. And it reminded me of the children I didn't have with both of those girls. And so it hit close to home. A lot of times these news stories are so abstract until something hits close to home, right? Now, a lot of people have flashbulb memories of various big events in life. For me, I think the biggest events are probably going to be 9/11 and also the beginning of COVID-19. I think the Russian war is a little bit more abstract. Even with what I saw two nights ago, it's still a little bit abstract to me. Maybe I'll remember it for all the investments I accumulated during that. COVID-19 also has that feeling, right? Now, another big one for me was Columbia, the Space Shuttle Columbia. And the reason for that was because after 9/11, I had developed a big fear of flying. I tried flying one time after that. I had a huge mental meltdown. And I remember thinking, hopefully one day we'll have flights to Taiwan that will take only half an hour. And won't be so, it might be scary, but it'll be like a theme park ride, right? I can get over half an hour of scariness. Well, two years later, a flying machine capable of making that trip at half an hour also crashed. And so that really hit close to home for me because I was hoping one day that the trips could be a whole lot faster. I don't necessarily fear flying anymore in terms of physically, but in terms of the social interactions on the plane, that can drive me nuts, right? Loud, crowded environments are not my cup of tea. I'm hoping to get over that. I've been working on getting over that. That's part of the reason I took up bowling a little over a year ago now. I hope to score 250. My highest score so far is 242. Anyway, happy anniversary, and let me know if anything hits close to home. Leave a comment.